So today is a pretty cool one because it's actually timing up pretty much perfectly with my intermittent fasting, which I've been doing for about the last 3 months, I would say, and I've really been enjoying it. I'm not really gonna get too far into it in this video, but I'm gonna tell you how I break my fast every day. So just the basics of intermittent fasting is, there's 2 different ways you can do it. You can fast for a full day, maybe once or twice a week, or you can do fasting every single day or 5 times a week where you're just eating for a certain period of time and fasting for a certain period of time. I take that approach. I like that more, the consistent, just every day. I shut off my eating sometime around 8 and then pick it back up around 12 the next day. Right now it's 10:30, so I'm getting a little hungry, but the cool thing about intermittent fasting is you get used to it. You get used to not eating, and you really start enjoying the benefits of not eating till a little later, because I know I'm a cook, so I'm always cooking, which means I'm always eating. So I needed something to give me a little structure, and I really have enjoyed the benefits of taking that time to let my body recover a little bit. And most importantly, I've really just been enjoying food more. When you're eating all the time, it kind of dulls out food a little bit. So when you give your body time and your mind time to recover, you start craving food more. And that first meal of the day, I'm just craving like this ultimate feast. And what my mind always goes to is an insane salad, which, I'm not really a salad guy. Normally I start eating and it kind of just turns into more eating and it gets weird. But for whatever reason, when I hold off on eating, I almost want everything that ever existed in one salad. And that's what I make. But I've got a few really good tricks because I know a lot of people don't love salads, but that's not what this is about. You'll see this salad has so many little treats that you won't even be thinking that you're eating greens. It's just like a side effect of like, oh, I got some extra greens in my life. And it really stars around sourdough croutons. It can be any crouton, but I love using the sourdough to make some tasty croutons. But what I'm gonna start out with is something a little different today, actually. I am gonna go in with a little salmon, because what I normally do is fry up some type of meat, and then I'll take the meat out, and then the fat from the pan that's left over, that's what I'll fry the croutons with. But today I actually have some leftover like salmon pieces, just a few, just sort of scraps, but that's enough. Any type of protein in the salad is really gonna help you enjoy the salad. At least for me, I just need a little extra protein, especially when I'm fasting. So what I'm gonna do is just throw these in. I'll season them up just a little bit with just a tiny bit of salt, and I will throw those in the pan and just get them crispy. And then the best part about it is not that this is gonna release any, fat, which meat would do, but there's gonna be some extra flavor in the pan, which will help flavor your croutons. So I'm just gonna fry these up, and then I'll slice my bread. So right here is a beautiful loaf that I made yesterday. It came out so great. I'm gonna slice that for you right now and see what's on the inside. Still a great crust, look at that. I used a curing method that really keeps your crust crispy, but I'll talk all about that in Sourdough U. Check out that beauty. All right, so these are frying up very quick, so I gotta get my croutons cut. And as far as croutons, it's like we hear croutons and you just kind of get, I don't know, you get turned off. At least the croutons I grew up with were so shitty. My mom used to buy these croutons, those like pre-baked, pre-packaged herb croutons that were just the worst. And it's just not what a crouton is all about. Like a crouton is, you get that, fresh, delicious bread. At least that's the potential of a crouton that you're gonna see right here. And it's almost like, the best part about this is it's almost like turning your salad into a sandwich a little bit. Like you get to enjoy more greens, which is good, but because you have that bread in there, it kind of tricks you into thinking it's a sandwich, which I really like. It helps me eat more greens. All right, I'm just gonna flip these. And the key is just like, you know, I'm not too worried about crispiness. I just want a little extra protein in there. I just don't want to overcook this salmon, because then you got dry salmon and that's the last thing you want. So that's just about done. And again, you can see all of that oil we put in there, that's now flavored with some delicious salmon juice, which is then going to flavor our croutons. But we also have a few more flavorings coming in as well. All right, I'm going to pull these. I'm happy with the doneness of that salmon. And then I'm going to go in with my croutons. Just kind of break those up if they're sticking together. This bread, I use fresh milled bread, and it comes out so soft, which is great because it retains that softness for a while, but it does stick together like that. So I think a few more pieces. And what I'll do here is I'm gonna help this out just a little bit. I'm gonna add just a tiny bit of butter because, you know, that's a lot of bread there. It needs some good fat to absorb. And, you know, I tend to make this with like some type of bacon or prosciutto. That always works great. So that has a ton of fat, so you don't need to add anything extra to really crisp these up. But because I'm just using salmon and there wasn't much fat coming off that, I'm just gonna add a few little knobs of butter in there. And then what I'll do is I'll flavor these up. You know, I'm not just satisfied. I mean, you could be satisfied with just sourdough croutons, but herb sourdough croutons is even better. So what I have here, just a little rosemary, a little bit of thyme that I keep out. I buy it fresh, I keep it out. Great trick. What they do is they just dry and they preserve, and then I'll take it like this, boom, and just run my fingers through it. And because they're dried out now, the thyme and the rosemary just falls right over the croutons. And then the last thing would be just a tiny bit of salt. You know, the sourdough has salt in it, but it's nice to just season them up as well. And then we're just gonna toast these babies up, give them a little turn, and you're good to go. So, you know, it's pretty obvious what you're looking for, just crispy croutons. You can already see some of these are starting to crisp up a little bit. So what I'm gonna do is clear this board and start building this salad. Now for the salad, this is the fun part. You're taking whatever you have in your fridge, and again, because I haven't been eating, my mind is just going in a million directions. It kind of just wants everything, and that's what I do. So I'll just take a bowl and just start building this thing in a bowl. Like, you know, I'll start off with, say, a little bit of cucumber. And then from there, I'll move on to maybe another vegetable I have. And then if I have some nuts, I'll move on to that. It's really just having fun, you know, not going too crazy, although I don't know if they're really, can you go too crazy when it comes to this? It depends. At least when I'm craving this type of stuff, when I haven't eaten, there's really no limit. So for the cucumber, just little sort of bite-sized pieces. Again, this is all preference. You're the master of your ultimate salad. This is Mike's, you know, salad. I find it funny when you go to like a fancy vegan restaurant or something, and there's always like Rachel's special salad. I relate to that, you know? You gotta have your own special salad and perfect that thing so you can whip it out in those times when you really just wanna eat something that's gonna be fulfilling and healthy. So I'm just peeling this carrot, and then what I like to do, because I'm lazy and it's simple, is just take the carrot and just, you know, peel shreds just like that right into the bowl. And this is just the easiest way to get some texture, some flavor. And it's also just a variety. Like, these nice ribbons are gonna work great compared to these bite-sized pieces of cucumber. Those are pretty much done, I would say. It's up to you how crispy you wanna go. Give it a try. That is, oh my God. Whoa. That bread was really good, and these might be, I forgot I haven't eaten too, so that makes it better, but these might be the best I've ever made. Good job, guys. We did it together. Just putting those in there. We're just building. And what I'm gonna do today is, I just had the inspiration to do this. I have this piece of endive, and a lot of times with endive, I will just chop this up and put it right in the salad. I like endive. It adds a really good texture. If you don't know what endive is, it's a green, but it's a little bitter. But a lot of times, you'll see a preparation of endive where they grill it or fry it. So I'm gonna do that, because again, I'm the master of my salad. There's no goddamn rules. And in this kitchen right now, I want a variety of flavor and action in this salad. And I think just a little fried up endive, doesn't have to be for long, but just the extra flavor that's gonna add will be great. So moving on. What else? We've got some red onion. I literally just went in my fridge and picked up a bunch of ingredients that could potentially work in a salad, which is pretty much everything. All right, I'll just slice a little bit of red onion. You want to slice that as thin as possible so you don't get too much bite. Then, oh yeah, I've got some sun-dried tomatoes that I've had there for about a week. I'll slice some of those up. That would be nice. Oh, I'm getting so hungry. Those croutons are amazing. All right, so we are gonna build this thing. So we've got sun-dried tomato going in with the red onion. We've got the cucumber, and then we already have the croutons in there, and we have the carrot. Now, what I like to do is take a little cheese. Again, adding little pockets of flavor. Just because, one, this is what my body is craving. I haven't eaten, except these croutons that I'm munching on because they're so good. It just wants everything. And cheese is right up on the list. And cheese is gonna make your salad taste so much better. And it's really whatever cheese you have. But I find that this hard type of cheese, like a Parmesan, does work great. So I just took a peeler and just peeled some of that right in there. I've got a bit of sprouts. It's nice to, have an assortment of greens so you get more flavor, more variety. So just some sprouts in there. Now it's always good to have like a baseline green that you can sort of fall back on. So here I have arugula, but it depends on what you have. So this is gonna be sort of the main star green. All right, I'm actually gonna take this off. Just want to show you what happened here. That's just goddamn incredible. Kidding me? Wow, look at that. All right, so we're done with this pot. All right, so then I'll take my salmon and just sort of give it a crumble. And again, this might be the most integral. If you're vegan, you can totally leave this out, or vegetarian. But if you're, a meat eater or a fish eater and you don't like salads, add some meat to your salad and see what happens. I would have even liked a little more than that, but This is real life, and I'm just working with scraps, trying to get rid of everything in my fridge. So I'm gonna chop up this endive. And what's cool about this salad is it's starting to sort of morph into different temperature profiles. You've got some warm and you've got some cold, and that's always fun too. Hopefully it doesn't wilt the greens too much, but I do like a little variation in temps as well. All right, I think that's everything. Now, as far as the dressing goes, you've got different options, and I just remembered that I actually had a dressing, but I can break down the ingredients in there. So I've been loving tahini. This is tahini paste right here, ground up roasted sesame seeds. Amazing for dressings. So I'll just make a dressing out of, let's see if I have it. Yes. I'll make a dressing out of lemon juice, olive oil, tahini, maybe a little garlic in there, maybe some apple cider vinegar. Pretty basic vinaigrette with just the addition of tahini. You can use peanut butter, so that's like a peanut butter vinaigrette. That's gonna be great. That's what this is, but at the same time, you can totally just take a squeeze of lemon. There's so much flavor in here. You can take a squeeze of lemon, squeeze that, hit it with some olive oil, and you're fine. So I'm gonna add this and mix this all up. Let's mix it up. Make sure your hands are clean. You don't want to overdress, but you know those croutons need some love. They need to soak up that goodness. And come, like, look at this. It's just everything that you could ever want. And for whatever reason, this isn't what my body's craving normally, but since doing this intermittent fasting, this is where I go. And it feels really good to kind of get a base layer of this. It's not what I eat every day. Sometimes I'll do a nice noodle soup or something, but for whatever reason, this is where I go. Now, the crazy thing is, I could probably eat that whole thing. I'm gonna plate it up or bowl it up. Which, you know, it's nice to present it in something a little more or a little less barbaric than a huge salad bowl like this. But it depends. I might start off with a few handfuls and then come back for more. But I would assume that I might be eating that many greens and that much food just because I haven't eaten in a while. So my body definitely craves it. And you know, you put that in your body to start the day with the protein, with the bread in there, you've got energy for a while.